Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jordan here with episode one of the What Man podcast. Here with my boy Nate and Matt. We are here to talk about sports really in general, and that's pretty much what our podcast is going to be based around. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, hit that follow button. Be much appreciated. All right, to go into it, we're going to start with today talking about the Illinois game. Illinois played UCLA 83 and they won 83 to 78. And I'm not much of the Illinois native like these guys are. These guys watch Illinois a lot more than I do, so they can elaborate more on this. But watching the game, basically, I just want your guys' first thoughts. What did you guys think of Illinois? How'd they play? Like, how do you guys observe their offense going into that game?
Yeah, I was pretty satisfied with the offense. I don't think the offense really has been that big of an issue outside of when they get kind of frazzled and things get stagnant and they kind of resort to ISO ball because that, leads to them chucking up threes as we saw in the last few minutes. But honestly, throughout the course of the game, yeah, I was satisfied with the offense. I think the two things that were the biggest issues were turnovers. Just careless turnovers is something that we've seen, especially throughout the last few weeks. They lost 5 out of 8 in January. They obviously dealt with some injury, some sickness. So it was a massive roadblock. They didn't come out unscathed. They lost 5 of 8, but they seem to be cleaning it up now. You definitely saw it with the Minnesota game where they shot much better from three, and they shot a little more than they did against Minnesota. They shot 28 threes this game, but they shot 39%. So definitely would have been a little better percentage if they didn't just, chuck up some bullshit shots towards the end of the game while UCLA got hot. That was my biggest concern. It was great to see Yakachonis come back with 24, 8, and 4. That's just ridiculous for a freshman. Ivasic with 16 and 7. So, yeah, I was very pleased with what I saw.
All right, Nate, what
Yeah,
about you?
so was I. I mean, the bounce back these past two games after that slide they had when, like Matthew said, they lost 5 of 8. I mean, that they looked terrible. They were shot chucking. They during that time they found themselves to lead the Big Ten in threes per game, and they were like one of the bottom 20 teams in all of college basketball in 3-point percentage. I mean that doesn't make any sense. But Brad made the adjustments, and now they took way less threes these past two games, and they're not coming down the floor just to throw something up. They're attacking the rim, um, and they're trying to get higher percentage shots, which is what they need to do. I'll credit Will Riley with this. I mean, he has progressed so far since the beginning of the year, and now when he goes into the rim, I feel like he doesn't shy away from the contact as much as he used to. Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year he would go up, he'd try to put together like some sort of Kyrie Irving like reverse layup, but now he just goes straight to the rim. It's clearly working. I think he's found his spot in the offense, and I think he's found his confidence. I think that's great moving forward,
Okay,
especially
so
because I think
Okay.
this team. Last thing. Especially because I think this team is out of it for the regular season championship. But if you want to make a tournament run, you're going to need guys like Will Riley to step up and have a game. You know, if you're trying to win like 4, 5, 6 games in a row, you like one guy can't be dropping 30 every game. Someone else has got to step up. I think Will Riley is definitely now a guy that can do that.
okay, but let me just ask you guys something though. 16 and 8 right now, right? And I mean, your future schedule is, I mean, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Duke, Iowa, Michigan, and then Purdue. All of those teams are ranked but one, which is Iowa, which again, I feel like Iowa we sweep. I mean, we'll wipe the floor with them, but then again, in conference, so might not. But let me ask you guys this. With that being said, with how tough their schedule is about to be, I mean, what do you guys think? Like how they're going to look in March? Like, are we prepared for March? Are we even prepared for these games?
Well,
So I'll go first if you
Yeah,
don't
no,
mind, because I
Matt,
got
go
the
yeah,
ahead.
go
schedule
for it.
pulled up right here.
Go ahead.
So I think if you would have asked me this right before Saturday, because I was talking to Nate right after that Rutgers game, we were both pretty down bad. We were like, what the fuck is going on? How do we lose to that shitty ass Rutgers team? I told him, I said, I'm not confident at all that we could beat Minnesota. Nobody knew if Ivasic's ankle was going to be all right. I was like, Dawson Garcia is going to fucking murder us like he did to Michigan when he hit that game winning shot from almost half court. But now, they came to Minnesota. They had a solid game plan on offense and defense. Brad obviously made some adjustments. They stopped shooting as many threes. UCLA, like I said, outside of that collapse, they look great for 35 minutes. So yeah, now moving forward, I think things are looking positive, especially because Michigan State, I feel like they had a tough loss on the road last month. They only lost by 2. They didn't have Yakachonis for 35 minutes of the game because he only got to play for like 7 minutes because of some bullshit fouls. I'm very confident we beat Michigan State. They really do not, strike much fear into me at all. Obviously, I'm not a player, so who knows what they're thinking. But Michigan State, I'm not very concerned with. I don't think that they have enough superstars. I think they have a team full of glorified role players. Wisconsin, that's another team where even though they've been good, they've had solid records. They kind of have this late season collapse in February, and we already beat them once this year. Wisconsin's just another team where right now they just do not worry me. I think that we could lose that game because it's on the road, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see them getting it done against us. Duke will be tough to beat, but I think we can beat Iowa. I think we'll lose to Michigan, and I think we'll beat Purdue. So I have us that 6-game stretch. I have us at least 3-3, bare minimum, 4-2 or 5-1, best case scenario. I don't think we win all 6, but 4 I think is.
And the one loss of that one record would be Duke, right?
Yeah. Duke and Michigan for sure. I would say Michigan. We've been able to beat them every year the last almost, I think, 5 years. But Dusty May, he's a great coach. He's bringing over some players with Florida Atlantic. That's one thing to watch out for. We did beat Florida Atlantic last year. Mm-hmm. They might want some revenge against us with their coach being Dusty May. They got Vlad Golden. They got some great players on the road. Michigan's going to be looking to beat us now that they're not in the fucking basement anymore. So Michigan and Duke, I think, are going to be 2 very tough games.
Sounds good. Nate, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything Matthew said. And I will add that the metrics love this Illinois team. I mean, in the net poll, they're still the second highest rated team in the Big Ten. I think they're like number 12, and Purdue is the only one higher, and they're like number 8. So, I mean, you're just looking at that. I think that these games favor us down the stretch, except for Michigan and Duke. I think Duke is going to be an interesting game because it's going to be huge for seeding, right? I mean, if Duke loses that game, they might lose out on a number 1 seed.
True. 100%.
And then Illinois wins that game, that might bump them. I think right now they're probably at like a 5 or 6 seed ish, but they win that game and they go let's say they go 4-2 and they lose to Michigan and Duke. I think that, or they beat Duke. Let's say they beat Duke, they go 5-1, lose to Michigan. That probably bumps them up like a seed or 2. They might go 4 seed or reach into a 3. So I think that game is going to be really interesting. But I mean, I agree with Matthew. I think I'm not worried about Michigan State because, I mean, they barely beat Illinois when Yakachonis played like 7 minutes last game because he got in foul trouble. Hopefully that high knee ref isn't reffing this game again, but but I think you have that one. I think you have Wisconsin. I think you have Iowa. And I really hope we have Purdue because I feel like they've had our number recently.
So, I mean,
but that's another interesting matchup though, because it'll be Braden Smith versus Yakachonis. Braden Smith is probably the leader for Big Ten Player of the Year. But Yakachonis is way above him on any draft board. I don't even know what draft boards that guy's even on. Braden Smith is even on, but I mean,
we all know that he's a future insurance agent, which doesn't be ashamed of. But I mean, realistically, he'll probably have a good overseas career. No disrespect to Braden Smith, but obviously Yakachonis is better. I will say though, we all know in college, as we saw, with Michigan State Duke a couple of years ago in the Elite 8, college experience usually wins. I think that Yakachonis will definitely, or Braden Smith, will definitely get in Yakachonis' head. He'll rattle him, probably force him to turn the ball over a little bit. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but still have high hopes for that Purdue game.
All right,
he's a great defender too. So I mean, I think he'll probably get all Big Ten defensive team honors.
So where do they go in March?
I don't want to speak too soon.
But if March hit, like if you had to decide right now, March is hitting right now. We're about to play in the tournament tomorrow. How confident are you guys that they get to where they got last year? To the Elite 8.
I think it all depends. I think it all depends on their path. I mean, you could say they're a 5 seed, they could beat a 12 seed, and then they could get a lesser opponent in the next round. I mean, 5 seed plays who in the second round? I believe they play the 4. Yeah, 5 seed plays a 4 in the next round. They could be playing a 13 seed in the second round that upset a 4. You never know. So they could get a favorable path beat a couple, double-digit teams and get a favorable matchup in the Sweet 16 and go to the Elite Eight. I don't know. I'm not saying that the only way that they could make a deep run is to get a favorable matchup, but it's just so matchup dependent that I don't know. I'd say right now I would put them in the Sweet 16.
Okay. What
Maybe
about you,
cap it
Nate?
right there.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same, but I think Illinois is going to be one of those dangerous. Let's say they stay at a 5 seed. I think they're going to be one of the more dangerous 5 seeds in the tournament. I mean, it's one of those teams that you see in your draw, and you're like, that's a tough matchup because I think they can. I mean, you could see at the beginning of the year they played Tennessee close. Tennessee was number 1 in the country, and they lost on a buzzer beater. They can hang with anybody, so I think they're going to be a dangerous 5-4 seed. And I think if some of these teams that I think Wisconsin is projected a higher seed right now. Like let's say you get matched up with someone like that, where I think Illinois is the better team. I think it could work out for them. I think they're going to be dangerous. I think they can play better than what their record shows. So I think they can make it to the second weekend for sure. But we'll see. Also, something to point out is that they're still top 25 in KenPom in defense and offense. Like every national champion over the past however many years has been in that category. And it's only 10 teams in the country that are in that category, and Illinois is one of them. I mean, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
If you're just a statistics guy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it means that they're one of the top 10 teams in the country, but I think it means they can play like it.
Okay.
So if they show up one day and they start hitting threes, Yakachona starts hitting his step backs like he did at the beginning of the year, they can beat anybody in the country. Not saying they will, but I just think their ceiling is high. I think this team has a high ceiling.
Agreed. One more thing just to point out about KenPom. Michigan State's only number 23. They were just ranked top 10 in the country, but yet in KenPom they were outside of the top 10. And now with their loss the other night to Indiana at home, they're down to number 23. So again, Michigan State does not really scare me. But you look at some of these other teams inside of the top 25, stretch to the top 30. Illinois beat Ohio State, who's number 29. They beat Missouri, who's number 18. Then they beat Wisconsin, who's number 12. So that's 3, top 30 KenPom wins.
Sure.
Unfortunately, on the schedule, or not unfortunately, because it's a chance to pick up some good wins for that tournament resume. But they got Michigan State, they got Michigan, they got Wisconsin again, and then
they
got
only lost
Purdue,
to Tennessee too by 5 or 2. Sorry, by the way.
Yeah, and they played Tennessee close, who's currently number 5 in the KenPom, and then they got Purdue, who's number 8. So they got a chance to pick up some huge wins at the end of the year.
I agree. So real quick, before we wrap up on Illinois, we got about 3 minutes left on Illinois. So future on Will Riley, both of you, what do you think?
I think his draft stock has gone up tremendously these past 2 games. I think it's going to depend on how he plays down the stretch.
I hope
if he keeps playing like how he did this last game, he'll probably get drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
But if he regresses a bit back to how he was when the Big Ten season first started, then probably not. He'll probably get to stay another year. But
I hope you're fucking wrong.
Right now it's trending. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want him to.
I want him one more year. I
want him another year.
So fun to watch as a freshman.
But he's got such a high ceiling. So yeah.
Yeah, he's 17 though, bro. 17 years old. That is
18. He's 18.
Oh, he just turned 18. Oh, whatever, bro. Well, he should be in high school though.
He should be a senior in high school. He reclassified. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just nuts. But what do you think, Matt? What do you think?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think earlier, you would have asked me, 6 weeks ago, I would have said he's either going to transfer or he's going to be back for another year. And now I don't think you can say that. If there was an NBA scout or a group of NBA scouts right next to me, I would tell them this man is not ready for the NBA. He needs to go back to college. That's just me being selfish because I want him back for another year so bad. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mr. Will Riley, phenomenal player, he's going first round. I don't know if I can say lottery yet. We'll have to see. But the way he's been playing the last few weeks, I mean, the way he tore up Minnesota, he made Minnesota look like Eastern Illinois. That 32-point game he had the first game of the season. It was disgusting what he was doing to that Minnesota defense, air quotes. So yeah, I think Will Riley's going to be first round for sure. Can't wait to see what he does in the league. Same with Yakachonis.
100%. All right. That's enough Illinois. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go into the Lakers game last night. So we're going to talk about the Lakers versus the Jazz last night. Jazz win 131-119. Luka's performance was okay. If we really look at it, LeBron James, 18 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, which is great. Rui Hachimura was their leading scorer with 19 points. When he also with 1 assist and also 3 rebounds. And then you also have Austin Reeves, who's going crazy as well with 15 points, 11 assists, and 5 rebounds. So Luka had 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. My thing is here, they still lose to a Jazz team where Lauri Markkanen has what, 32 points? That's insane. Anyways, what do you guys really think?
Markkanen's a dog, though.
Yeah, no, 100%. He is a dog. He was a dog when he was with the Bulls. He's still a dog now. All right, but let me ask you guys, what do you think about this Lakers team after that performance? Are they actually going to be contenders, or are they just pretenders?
Yeah. So I think when we were talking a couple days ago about how the Lakers look with Luka in his first game, I think I was a little more excited because we had not seen Alex Len play yet. I'm pretty sure that this dude was like a minus 85 or something when he was on the court. I know he had 7 rebounds, 4 points. Give him some credit. It was his first game. You know, he just got the call that he was going to be a Laker like 2 days ago. Probably didn't even have time to pack a fucking suitcase, if we're being honest. But still, like, it seemed like he was some barbecue chicken out there. Lauri Markkanen had 32 points, for God's sake. I mean, he was tearing that shit up. This Jazz team is ass. I would be pretty concerned if I was the Lakers. But, I mean, honestly, I think we all knew deep down that the Lakers didn't pick up Luka Doncic to win a championship this year. This was something they did because they wanted to have Luka the next 10 years.
Wait, this wasn't. You think this trade wasn't for this year?
They gave up all their depth at big man. They have no centers right now. Their center is Alex Mertens. I mean, Alex Len. Like, they're fucking tough. Like, I mean.
No, I agree with Matthew. Luka's young. Luka's young.
Alex Mertens is the homie. I'm gonna pull him up on the screen.
Oh, he's a great player.
Picture of him on the screen right now. This is Alex Mertens. Yeah. But like,
we love Alex Mertens. But yeah, and I'm even more concerned. Like, I'm looking at this Jazz roster. No Lauri Markkanen, obviously John Collins, Walker Kessler, Jordan Clarkson, great players. I'm seeing Johnny Juzang and Bryce Sensabaugh got minutes. These are dudes that I know because I'm a big college basketball fan. I thought that these dudes were insurance salesmen by now, and here they are on an NBA roster, and the Lakers just lost to that team. I'd be very concerned if I was a Lakers fan.
Well, first of all, I agree about Alex Len. I think Alex Len's a difference maker here. I mean, he's going to decide whether they make a championship or not. I mean, he's just no. I'm just kidding. I think I agree with Matthew in the sense that like Luka is like a long term thing. I mean, he's such a young player. He's what, like, is he even 25?
No, he's about to be 26.
Okay, so that's like just now entering his prime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you had LeBron like 15. How old is LeBron? Is LeBron 40?
40.
It's like if you had LeBron like 15 years ago.
Yeah, no, right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's good. I mean, let's say LeBron retires within the next year, you still have Luka, like a generational, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the number one guy on your team for the foreseeable future. You have him now. So if they don't win it this year, I think that's fine because I think their window for winning a championship, it doesn't close after this year. That being said, I think I disagree with Matthew in the sense that I would be worried about this game. I mean, it's pretty much a new roster after getting rid of Max Christie and AD. Those were 2 huge players, and now you got to build new chemistry with a new starting role. And Austin Reeves is probably gonna have a bigger role scoring wise. So Rui probably the same, and Luka's got to figure out how to play with these guys. I mean, I think there's going to be growing pains, and I think these early games, I think you just got to brush them under the rug and move on and keep moving forward. You know, like at the end of the season, you look back at their record, you're not going to be arguing that they lost to the Jazz, so they're not going to, win the Western Conference Finals if they're in playoffs. There's just going to be growing pains when you get a new team like this.
No,
I wouldn't be worried.
I agree. But
if they're still like 10 games from now, if they're still losing, that's when you sound the alarm. But right now, I would chill out. I mean, they're gonna be fine.
I mean, fifth in the West. I mean, you guys say they have no big man, which I agree with, but does that stop Luka and LeBron from making a playoff run? Like, honestly,
no, I don't think so.
Like,
not in the modern NBA. I don't think you need a traditional big man in the modern NBA.
Yeah, you.
I mean, they're probably going to. Well, actually, I don't know. In the West, if you get matched up with the Nuggets, I mean, who's going to guard I mean, who's going to guard Jokic? I mean, he's going to cook. He's going to cook you guys without AD.
I mean, Jokic was cooking AD. He was cooking.
Yeah,
the shit out of AD.
literally
What's
every
he
time.
gonna do to Alex Len and Christian Koloko? He's gonna make those two guys look like fucking B down there. So it'll be barbecue chicken. Imagine if they get a motivated AD when they play. No, they got nobody to stop AD. That's gonna be a massacre. Obviously, they can make up for it in other ways. They'll be playing some small ball. They'll be able to run and gun, maybe tire the Mavs out a little bit, especially with guys like Kyrie Irving getting older, Klay Thompson getting older.
That'd be crazy.
So I'm not saying you should totally sound the alarm, but their weaknesses at big man is definitely something you should not overlook.
Okay, so let's touch. So let's move on from the Lakers game. Let's touch a little bit more on the Warriors game. So obviously, you guys know this is like my home ground, man. I'm a big Warriors fan, big Steph Curry fan. Been a Steph Curry fan all my life, literally ever since I was a kid. Always wore number 30 when I played ball. Listen, Warriors game last night. They ended up losing 107 to 111 to the Dallas Mavericks over a Jimmy Butler charge on Kyrie Irving, which pretty much sealed the deal for the rest of the game. Basically, Jimmy Butler with 21 points, 7 assists, and 9 rebounds. What are your guys' thoughts on Jimmy in this role type of with the Warriors? I mean, there were 2-1, should have won last night, basically. Should be 3-0. But they're 2-1 basically with him on the team. Like, what do we think about Jimmy compared to the Lakers? Like, do the Warriors progress more than the Lakers? What do you think?
Yeah. So, I think when talking about how much Jimmy Butler moves the needle, I think you really have to look at where the needle was in the first place. Like I said, needle was here, being 11 seed play-in team, and now the needle, I think he has moved it all the way up, not to here, but about a here, which is a 6 or a 5 seed. So I think that they could, get out of the play-in, get out of that 7-8 spot, maybe get into the playoffs. But really, Steph Curry's aging, Jimmy Butler's aging. I think the ceiling might be, second round of the playoffs. I think it'll be really hard to win a championship with this team as constructed. Obviously, Jimmy Butler can take a team far. Obviously, Steph Curry's got devil magic. He can will superstars on opposing teams to just get injured. But it doesn't happen every year. So I don't know. Right. That was mostly a joke, just trying to piss off my fellow co-host here.
Go ahead, Nate.
Still don't think it moves the needle that much.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
I completely agree. I think they need to go on a run to even get themselves into a playoffs. I mean, I think they don't want to be in the play-in because some of those play-in teams in the West are frisky. I mean, the Timberwolves, the Mavs, or Kings, and Warriors are all play-in teams right now. I could see the Warriors losing to any one of those teams on a one-off night.
It's February.
They need
except the Kings. Kings probably suck.
It's February.
Yeah, the Bulls 2.0. That's true. But I'm just saying, 13th. Like, I think the Warriors need to go on a huge run to get themselves in better position for the playoffs. If they can get matched up with the Clippers somehow in the playoffs, like the Clippers are a 6 seed, so if they can get up to like a 5, that'd be huge because the Clippers never have their stars. They got Podcast Paul George, Podcast P, and Kawhi made a glass Leonard. You could easily win that series.
Okay, dude. Are you serious?
But I think they need to go on a run here. They need to start racking up some wins. But I like Jimmy Butler a lot. That's my guy. It's one of my favorite players of all time. But I agree. I don't think he moves the needle, but just the starting point was so low.
Yeah, we'll get to the needle moving in my hot take
segment
later. But go ahead.
Let me give you a little analogy here. All right, we got broke ass motherfucker. And then you got, say, Elon Musk, all right? It's like, give the broke-ass motherfucker a Lambo, which is the Warriors, because the team was pretty ass. You give the Warriors a Lambo, or the broke-ass motherfucker a Lambo, still not going to be Elon Musk being a championship team. So you could sprinkle in a little something. You can make it look a little better.
Be serious,
you can give us some quality shit.
Hold on, bro. What
that doesn't
are
mean
you
they're going to win the NBA championship. I got respect for Steph Curry. I got respect for Jimmy Butler. Just don't think it moves the needle that much. Carry on.
They're good though. They're good though. With the right matchup, they do have a lot of playoff experience. I could see them beating out some of these teams in the West, or at least playing them close with these teams that don't have playoff experience, like the Thunder and the Rockets have little to no playoff experience at all. Yeah. I could see them getting matched up with the Warriors and just getting outclassed.
Yeah,
good too. But I think it's matchup dependent. I think it's possible. I don't see them winning a championship though.
Yeah.
I think they need to worry about their future. I mean, what's their future look like? These guys are damn near in a wheelchair with how old they are. Jimmy Butler and Steph. I mean, they're leaving their prime. If they're still in their prime, they're leaving it within the next like couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that LeBron James has given people unrealistic expectations of how superstars age, especially nowadays. I mean, LeBron is 40. He puts up a 30-point triple-double. No one's blinking an eye. Steph Curry is what? Is he 36 yet? Let me look it up here. Steph Curry is 36. He's about to be 37. I didn't realize. I thought he was about to be 36, maybe just turned 36. He will be 37 in 1 month and 1 day.
Hey,
So, not everybody's going to age gracefully.
guys, I don't give a fuck. Do you not, guys? Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. The way Steph Curry is playing right now, he's not playing at the age that he is listed. Okay, I get it. LeBron is 40 fucking years old here. Okay, why aren't we talking up? And LeBron's playing out of his fucking mind. Nobody gives Steph Curry enough fucking credit for being, bro. It's all good, bro. Look, listen. I don't listen. You remember? Did you guys see the Draymond clip that's been servicing everywhere with him and Steph having that conversation? Him and Steph having the conversation of like, hey, this is our last run ever since they got Jimmy. Do you guys remember? Do you guys ever see that? Did you guys see that at all?
No, actually, I didn't. I actually didn't see that.
Did you see that?
I think their window is now. Their window is now, listen, and it's not going to be open.
This is their last opportunity. Basically, both of their contracts end in the 26-27 season. So basically, both of them, Draymond and Steph, will be basically done after the 27 season. So here's my thing. And Jimmy Butler is signed till the 27th season, till the 27. So like, let me just say this right here. If it's not this year, it's next year. But I honestly believe with this team right here, in which I'll get into that later. Dude, this team is a championship team. If this team is not a championship team, that 2022 team was not a championship team, and they won. So like, I just don't see how you guys could say that. Like, you guys don't even give it a little bit of a thought. Like, hey, the Warriors can actually do this. Like when 2022, nobody thought that they would win. Nobody, bro.
Seem to remember. I mean, the Warriors were what, like the 2-3 seed that year? I remember Stephen A. Smith, after like the first few weeks of the season, said he predicted the Warriors were going to win the championship. You had Steph Curry in his prime. You had Andrew Wiggins as an all-star starter. You had Jordan Poole putting. Andrew Wiggins was an all-star starter. Jordan Poole was putting up 20 points per game in the playoffs. Klay Thompson was not yet washed like he is now, or at least he was last year. He's a little bit better this year.
He didn't even play that
was
well.
Warriors team.
Okay.
Andrew Wiggins played out of his mind.
Andrew Wiggins literally played out of his mind. Like, right, not only that, so now Andrew Wiggins is gone. You put playoff Jimmy in that situation. It's the same
playoff Jimmy
thing.
plus about 3 years. Add about 3 years on the legs. I mean, I'm not saying Jimmy Butler's probably better than Andrew Wiggins, but you got to think you're adding 3 years of mileage on him. You're adding 3 years of mileage onto Steph Curry. It's hard. It's hard to do that. I mean, we're talking about Steph Curry when he was 33 versus about to be 37, 34 versus 37. That's a massive, massive age difference, especially in the NBA. It's exponential, the rate that you age at.
But look at fucking LeBron. He looks like a goddamn 30-year-old out there, dude. He's 40 fucking years old. I mean, if you take care of yourself, I think you'll be all right. But anyways, go ahead, Nate.
Well, to that point, I think I kind of agree with Matthew. I think LeBron sets unrealistic expectations for aging. Not everybody can age like that. But I agree with you, Jordan. I think Steph can still play at a high level. And if you're saying this is their window from when their contract's up again, you said 26, 27?
Yeah, both of them.
So they have 3 seasons. So they have 3 seasons. They have this year, next year, and the year after, right?
Yeah.
So if that's their championship window, they got to get better after this year.
Wait, time out. Wouldn't it be...
If they're up after the 26-27, that's 3 seasons. This year, next year, and the year after. I think if this is their starting point, let's say they get up to like a 6 seed or something like that, or a 5 seed, who knows? And they get a favorable matchup. They make it to the second round. They lose in the second round. They got to figure out a way to get better to push them over that hump. If you're saying that's their championship window, they got to figure out a way to get better after this year. As I don't think it's going to cut it if they stick with this same roster. of the next 2 seasons, I don't think they will win a championship. They gotta add something.
True. All right. Well, that's enough of the Lakers and the Warriors there. That was awesome. One more. So we're gonna end. We have two more things to talk about. First, I want to know. You had to pick today predictions on who's coming out of the West, who's coming out of the East. Let's start with the East because we haven't really talked about the East. We've been all about the West. On the East side of things, where do you guys think who are going to be in that conference final and who's actually going to win?
All right. I think it's going to be Celtics Knicks in the conference finals. I think Celtics are probably going to go to the championship again. Um, I like the Knicks a lot, to be honest. I think they're kind of fun to watch too, but I don't think they're going to win a championship. I don't think they have that one guy that's like pushes them over the top. I think they got some great role players and some great all stars, but I think you kind of need that bona fide superstar on the team. And I'm not convinced by any of those guys. Cat was a great. I mean, that was a great trade though to get Cat though.
Yeah.
And they have a little bit of playoff experience. So give me the Knicks going to the conference finals with the Celtics. I think the Cavaliers are good, but they're missing that playoff experience. Um, I think the Pacers. I don't think they're that great, and I think the Bucks with Damian Lillard just haven't impressed me enough since he's been there. And I know what you all are thinking. They just added Kyle Kuzma. Who cares?
Ooh. Yeah, what the fuck? What's that gonna do, bro? Nah.
For the West though, for the West, I got Nuggets, Lakers in the conference finals, and I think it could kind of go either way. I think that's going to depend on how well Luka looks on the Lakers. But I think those are my two teams. I think the Rockets and the Thunder are great, but I think they're what I like to call regular season merchants, where they're a great regular season team, but they're so young and so inexperienced in the playoffs. Um, I just can't put them over a team like the Nuggets or Lakers who has that playoff experience. Um, they could easily make a run and prove me wrong though. But I got Nuggets Lakers and give me the Nuggets going to the finals.
Nuggets Celtics finals for you, okay. What about you?
That's pretty basic, but yeah, that's my prediction.
What about you, Matt?
Yeah, funny you said the Celtics and the Knicks because that was actually going to be my prediction as well. But taking a look at the standings here, we got the Knicks at the 3 seed and the Celtics at the 2 seed. Celtics at 39 and 16, Knicks at 36 and 18. This is looking like a second round matchup right now, the 2 versus the 3. I don't know if the Celtics or the Knicks can, make up enough ground to jump the Cavaliers at the 1 seed, which would cause them to be in that 1 and 4 matchup. One of them would have to get, one of the Cavaliers would have to get knocked out before the second round.
Right.
Or the Celtics and Knicks would have to avoid playing each other in the second round for that matchup to happen. So I love that pick. I think that both of those two teams are good enough to go to the conference finals. It's just the way that seeding is right now. I don't actually see that happening. So I'm going to say Cavaliers and Celtics. Cavaliers are one of your regular season merchants. I don't think they have a chance to go to the finals. I think it's going to be the Celtics coming out of the East. Like you said, Bucks don't really scare me. Damian Lillard, he might as well stay in Portland because this Bucks team is not doing shit. In the Western Conference, I do like the Nuggets coming out. Thunder, I do kind of think the regular season merchants, but I don't want to say the same pick as you. I think we should mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to say Thunder are going to come out of the West, and we're going to get Thunder and Celtics in the finals.
All right,
that'd be a great matchup. I love Shea. So Shea at the free throw line at all times. Gilgeous Alexander.
Yeah, I was going to say great matchup on paper. It'll be great. Great series to watch from Twitter because who wants to watch that game with a million fucking free throws with Shea at the line? But
yeah, it's fucking annoying. Can't lie, he gets everything. So for me, honestly, when it comes out of the East, I could care less about the East. East is fucking trash. Literally hate watching every single game. I don't think I've watched a single East game this entire year. Just fucking hate watching it. It's literally just the Celtics beating on them or the New York Knicks getting to overtime against somebody and somehow winning, okay? Like, honestly, I could care less about the East, but I do believe the Celtics get out. I don't know who they're going to be matched up against. Don't care about that. Celtics obviously get out of the East. It's just clearly, bro. Now, West, bro, check this out. I think it's OKC Warriors at the end. Warriors win. Look, check this out. You guys obviously know, but I heard some, and I know somebody said some fucking Lakers Nuggets, bro. We after what we just talked about, it didn't even seem like y'all even wanted. You guys even thought the Lakers would even get through second round. So like, I don't even know how we're even saying that right now. But like, I'll let y'all say that.
I
They
said
have a really
Thunder
high
wins.
ceiling. I think the Lakers have a really high ceiling. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I think it's going to depend on how Luka fits in down the stretch. But I think that with Luka, they have such a high ceiling.
Honestly, I think you put Lakers Warriors in that motherfucking final, or you put them in the. You put them wherever they meet up. I don't care. Lakers Warriors in that fucking playoff. Warriors win that shit. I don't care.
Didn't the Lakers just? Never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna
Yes,
I'm gonna
you
stick
did.
with my prediction.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Predict that the Warriors are great, but I think their ceiling for this year is like a second round exit. I don't think they're going to make a conference finals.
Don't want
And I think if this is their championship window, they can get better. And if they add another piece next year, I may change my tune, right? But I think right now with the team how it is right now, I don't see them. I don't see them. I don't see them going to the conference finals.
Fine. That's fine. And everybody's got their opinion, so it's totally fine. Now,
So when was the last time the Lakers and the Warriors got matched up in the playoffs? And the Lakers might be wrong about this. Didn't the Lakers beat
yeah,
the Warriors?
and didn't Clay put up 2 donuts? I don't remember if you guys remember that, but I do. Anyways, that's fine. He's
I'm
not
just
on the
saying,
team anymore,
let's not
bros with the
forget that.
Mavericks. Doesn't matter. All right. Doesn't matter. That shit's over with. That is out the window. That is old shit. So listen.
I was a
We're
Warriors
gonna-
fan. I'd want to throw that out the window too.
Okay, whatever, bro. All right, to end this segment, okay, to end this podcast, we're gonna end with a segment called "Hot Takes or Not." So basically, each one of us is going to give out a hot take, and then we, the other two who are listening to the hot take, basically have to debate if that's really a hot take or it's just the truth. All right. So to start off, we're just gonna start with mine because mine's cliche, and I'm just gonna get off my chest now. My hot take
Warriors
right
to the
now is
finals.
the Warriors in the finals, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm putting it out there right now. And listen to me, okay? You will see that when I clip this and put that out there, it's gonna, dude. I promise you, it's gonna happen. Every time they drop a Kendrick album, they win a championship. Every year a Kendrick album's dropped, they win a championship. I saw that stat. I don't care.
Didn't he drop one last year in like 2023?
No, he dropped it in 2024, leading into 2025. Listen, that is this year, baby. That's this year. That's this year. I'm just saying. Listen,
You could say you could correlate a lot of things. That doesn't mean they're related. I mean,
I'm going with it. It's I'm correlating it and it's mine. Okay, it's in my heart. Okay, I just know that the Warriors get to the championship this year. I promise it. Hot take or what? Truth or hot take?
yeah,
What?
I think that's a hot take. I think for anybody outside of Warriors fan, I think that's a hot take. I think if inside the Warriors, that's probably a cold take because a hot take being as a Warriors fan is probably like 3 straight championships with Jimmy Butler, and then they all retire.
No, that's not what we think at all. No. What?
That would be a hot take.
Why? Because if he has 5, that's one more than LeBron. Just want to put that out there.
Unless LeBron wins another one.
Unless that happens. But again, like I said, if Curry wins another one, that's 5. And he will have 4.
Actually, if LeBron wins another championship and Luka gets Finals MVP, people will smear that man online.
100%.
So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Matt, hot take or truth?
Yeah. I don't even know if I can call it a hot take. I would call it a ridiculous take.
You would
Hot take nonetheless. So good job. That was,
Whatever.
you know,
Anyways, we'll let that go.
Good job on that take.
100%.
Hot take.
Nate, I want to hear yours. I want to save Matt for the end. Nate, I want to hear what you have to say because I already know this is going to be ridiculous. Go ahead.
Because mine is actually not. It's actually baseball related. But my hot
sorry,
take.
guys, gonna log on. Mind if I get out here? Okay, go ahead, Nate.
But my hot take is I think the Cubs are going to win the Central Division, and I think they're gonna go to the World Series this year.
Yeah, bro, hot take for sure. There's no way, dude.
You're gonna go to the World
I think
Series.
they're pretty
Did you
good.
and Jordan? Did you guys have like text on the side, be like, no, let's both like play prank on me and like try to have the most ridiculous takes. What are we doing here? Come to the World Series. Now that is a hot take. I give you guys both credit. Smoking hot takes.
I'm sorry. That Cubs one's crazier than the Warriors one, in my opinion.
Not true. I don't think that's true. They were above 500 last year. They were in the race to win the division up until the last
500 by like a
couple.
game.
It's not true. They're above 500 by
Every
like
team above 500, the championship team.
what?
So
Like, I just
so every. All right, I'll let go ahead.
I think they got a ton better. They added Kyle Tucker. I mean, that's the best player that's been on the roster since that's the best team that's been on the roster since Chris Bryant, probably. I mean, he's probably pretty unanimously a top 5 player in the National
Sorry.
League, probably a top 10
Say
player
this
in
guy's
all of
name
Major
again.
League Baseball. Kyle Tucker.
What's this guy? Oh, okay. I thought you said Chris Tucker. I was about to make a Jackie Chan joke. Carry on.
No, I think he's really good. I think he's really good. I think their pitching rotation got better. I think they picked up a closer and they picked up a middle reliever from the Yankees when they traded away Bellinger, and that was a huge issue this past year. PCA can only get better. They missed out on Bregman this week. He went to the Red Sox, but I don't know. I think the team got a lot better over this past year. And they already have a solid starting pitching lineup that pitched really well last year. I mean, Shota Imanaga was a dog all year. I don't know. I think I saw one news outlet predicted them at 90 wins. So I think it's very doable. I think they can get hot. If they get hot at the right time, they can totally make a run in the playoffs. But I think I have high hopes for them winning the division at least.
Agreed.
I think they're gonna be pretty good. I think that's what I think.
Can't believe you're saying this right now, but we will be finding this later. We're gonna look back at it and be like, "Wow, what was a dumbass take that was." All right, go ahead.
But hey, Jordan, hot take nonetheless, right? He succeeded.
No, it is hot take.
It was a hot take.
Hot take. But I think St. Louis Cardinals wiped the Cubs, bro. All right, go ahead now.
The Cardinals are in baseball hell right now. They suck.
They suck. They're really bad.
They're terrible.
I know about that one.
And St. Louis is never mind. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got a lot of work to do. I feel like my take isn't even that good, but my take is that the still legendary coach Tom Izzo is cooked and should hang it up after this season. Or maybe the next season, because like I was saying earlier, these Michigan State teams are not striking fear in anybody. And if we had more than 0 viewers right now, I would tell these viewers in the comment section, if you're a Big Ten fan, when was the last time you saw on your schedule we got Michigan State coming up and we're like, oh my God, I really don't want to play these guys? Never. It has not happened in like the last 5 years. And if we had more than 0 viewers right now, you guys would feel the same way. The record in the Big Ten outside of this season was 41-38 over the last 4 or 5 seasons. 41-38. That's barely over 500. I mean, according to Nate, if you're over 500, you're a championship team. So I don't know. Maybe they are better than I thought. Maybe
it's a totally different sport in baseball. I think it's.
I'm just teasing you, but I'm just saying I think the magic is gone. No one. I mean, okay, if you ask like a Nebraska or a Rutgers fan, they're probably like, yeah, I'm pretty scared to play Michigan State. That's because those teams suck. But like, if you're an upper echelon Big Ten team, Michigan State's not striking fear in you like they were. I think it's time for him to hang it up. I think the transfer portal in the game passed him by. Obviously, still a great coach. Michigan State's going to make the tournament this year. They could definitely make a run of the Sweet 16, but just the magic isn't there like it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to go off that take, I'd say that's pretty much. I mean, hey, truth. Hey, I've stopped watching Tom Izzo since I was a kid, dude. Freaking, I remember my dad when he was coaching the Wolverines, bro. He used to grab like Mike Krzyzewski videos, UNC videos, and also like Izzo videos, just to, like learn coaching and stuff. But yeah, 100, dude, he's been coaching for a minute, bro. He needs to hang that shit up, 100%. I don't think Michigan State's a threat ever.
And I mean, just compare this team now. I mean, nobody, even 5 years ago, you see, oh man, we got Cassius Winston, Xavier Tillman coming up. A few years before that, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges on the same team. We got to play them on a Tuesday night, fucking right after some bullshit kinesiology class. A few years before that, Denzel Valentine. A few years before that, we got to play a team with Draymond Green on it.
Draymond, yeah.
And now it's just the only, now we're going, we got to play against Cam Fiddler and Jaden Akins. It's like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I think the game might have passed him by, and that's my hot or not take.
All right, what about you, Nate? What do you think? Hot take or truth?
I don't know. When you first said it, I mean, my first gut reaction was, yeah, that's a hot take. You're saying one of the best college basketball coaches of all time, that he should hang it up. I think he's about to set the record for most wins of all time, right? With one more win, they had a chance to break the record against Indiana, and they lost, which is embarrassing, by the way. Um, but you make some good points. I mean, he is super old. I mean, none of these teams have had like a bona fide star that you think every time he touches the ball, you're like, oh no, this guy's about to score on us. They're great teams for sure, and they're well rounded. Um, but yeah, I mean, you make some good points there. I'm still going to say hot take because I still think he gets above average recruits. And I think if you're looking at what the bar is for a program, I think he still is way above. I think his floor is still way above what you want for your program. So I'm going to say hot take. But I mean, I see where you're coming from.
All right, guys, that was fantastic. I just want to say, yes, Matt brought it up earlier. We have 0 viewers or whatever, but dude, seriously, this is just our first episode, just kicking it off of the What Man podcast. So we're gonna try to do this about, I believe, once a week. Hopefully, we're gonna see if we're gonna do more sessions or anything like that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is I'm Jordan. That's Matt. This is Nate, and I really do appreciate you guys coming to the What Man podcast. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.